friends, and welcome to today's video. I am really excited for this video. I feel like it's very much needed for me, but as you can see by the title, we are taking analog seriously in this video and hopefully as a habit continually after this. Long story short, I just have not been feeling the best, and I think a big part of that is being addicted to the dang phone and being on my screens too much because it kind of just spirals. I don't know if anyone else has been feeling this way. I like social media as a means for inspiration and connecting with people, but I feel like especially recently, especially when you're like just not already in a great headspace, it easily becomes a place of like comparison, discontentment. I don't know. It's just not been a good combo recently. And so I want to build healthier habits around my phone, social media, screen time, all that. And you may have been seeing the term having an analog year going around, and I've definitely been seeing that, and I want to very much participate and be more intentional about it. And I'm gonna bring you guys along with me. So hopefully we'll make some changes and feeling just even a little bit better by the end of this week. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so what are we gonna actually do to change this? First thing, clearly, if you're watching this video, you know that I post a lot on social media. It's my job, so I will still be posting everywhere, but that's gonna take a lot of self-control. So my plan, and I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. I think I'm gonna do like a nightly check-in of like how I did during the day, and then how I feel. I'm still gonna post, but I'm just gonna try so hard not to scroll. And then anytime I respond to comments, I'm just gonna respond only on my computer. In the morning and in the evening, spending too much time on social media has really been affecting me. And so I kind of wanna set boundaries around that. So I'm also going to do a hard cutoff, I think at 5. I don't really consider Pinterest or YouTube really, like, it's social media, but for me it's a little bit more like inspiration, and especially YouTube, it's kind of more like a TV show for me because I always just have my YouTube on my TV when I like knit. So to me that doesn't like affect me as much, but I think I'm gonna cut everything off at 5, so no more Pinterest or YouTube. But TikTok, Instagram, no scrolling for me. If I do, I'll have to tell you to your face that I have not been doing what I said I was gonna do. So that's the plan. I am excited. I have a lot of analog hobbies that I want to do this week, and so I'm hoping I can pour my energy and my focus into these things. That is my plan. We'll see how it goes. It's Monday right now. It's my first day of doing this, but I'm hoping this will be a long-term thing. It's a little later and I'm about to head off to the pottery studio. If you guys are around here, I don't remember how long ago it was, low-key half a year, but I took my first long-term like pottery course. It's 6 weeks. I took that like, I don't know, 5 months ago or something. I just started it again. It's the same like intro beginner course about wheel throwing, but the first time I took it, it was actually a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. I was not able to make very much, but I had my first class, or my second time taking the course, last week, and I can already say I think it's going a lot better. I also think the people in my class are a lot more beginner, which has helped me because the instructor has been really thorough since we're all like kind of lost. So I'm gonna go to the studio. My goal is to be able to make like functional, like things I'll actually use, because right now all the stuff I made from the last course are just like trinket dishes because I couldn't make anything very large. Actually, I made like an espresso cup. It's a really weird shape. It's not symmetrical and the glaze didn't turn out right, but I used this one. I also made this one, which actually turned out really cute, and I actually really like this one, and I'll use it also for espresso, but it's just really thick, so it was like not a good use of clay. Then I also made some stuff like this, where it's just like really ugly. It did not turn out at all what it was supposed to. I think this one was literally supposed to have flowers, and the glaze didn't stick like at all. Like, I low-key want to get rid of this because it irritates me to look at it. Let's go to the studio and see what we can do today. I'm gonna try to add some handles on 2 cups that I threw last week during my first class, but I've never done a handle before, so we'll see. It's maybe like 2 hours later now. I just finished up my session at pottery. I think went it went okay. I've talked about this before, but I think like the first class kind of gives me false hope because the instructor walks you through everything, so you're like, hey, I'm kind of not that bad, and then you go and try to do it by yourself and you're like, oh, I forgot how to do everything. But I was able to throw 3 things. 2 were like cups. I definitely improved from the last course I took, and then I tried to throw a bowl. The bowl was actually really bad. It's super lopsided, so I don't even know if I'll be able to trim it. I don't know. Personally, I like funky looking stuff, so I'm hoping it'll like something will come of it. I was able to make 3 things. I wanted to trim today, but my pieces from last week were still pretty malleable and wet, so I wasn't really able to, but I'm not mad. 3 pieces that I'm kind of okay with in 2 hours. Not that bad. Okay, we're gonna head back. I think I casted this on like less than a week ago, and the thing is, this is my first time having to adjust pattern because of the yarn. In the pattern, they recommend holding 2 yarns together. I made a gauge and it was like way bigger because it's a bulky weight yarn, but it's like way thicker, and I'm just using this one instead of holding 2 together because it already has the kind of like heathered look, right? So I had to adjust everything a lot. So we're still kind of crossing our fingers that it turns out okay, but like so far when I've tried it on or like looked at it, I feel like it's looking all right. Since it's a raglan, we're just doing the same exact thing, which is like increasing at all the raglan like seams, the 4 of them, for a super long time to get that baba like really oversized look. All right, so I actually knit kind of a good amount today. I've tried this on over me kind of periodically, but just with the needles still in it, and I feel like I should probably try it on with it off the needles so it's not all bunched, just so that I can see actually like how big it is, because it looks kind of massive, to be honest. I'm kind of worried that it's gonna be way too big. Wow, this looks crazy. I just forgot how raglans are though. So I think I'm supposed to knit it. Oh my gosh. This just looks crazy. Supposed to just keep doing the raglan increases. I'm like a little past 8 inches and it's supposed to go to 12. Hey guys, it's much later. I'm about to go to bed, but I just wanted to do my check-in for the first day of my analog journey, or whatever you want to call it. I think I did pretty good today. Today wasn't that hard because I was out and I'm doing ceramics for a lot of today, but once I came back, I called my mom, I knit a lot, and then I just did a lot of editing. So I didn't have a lot of time. I feel like I would have been scrolling. I'm about to go to sleep and I'm not gonna scroll. I think I'm actually gonna read my book, which is a habit that I really want to get into, and I just have to do it, where I read before bed instead of scrolling on my phone, and don't scroll on my phone when I wake up, and just like get up. I'm feeling good. I don't yet feel like the benefit of like not being so like online present, because obviously it's only been 1 day, but I will say I felt a lot more productive today. I feel like those little pockets of time where you waste an extra like 10, 15, 30 minutes scrolling when you're only going to be on your phone, you know, to do something really quick, those sections of time really do add up, and I felt that today. Like I just felt less scatterbrained. So I think we're off to a good start, but I'm gonna go to sleep and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I just made this little top for a St. Patrick's Day craft. I feel like I'll make a scrappy top for any fruit or any season. So we have a little 4-leaf clover for St. Patty's Day. Not that I do anything for St. Patty's Day. My analog activity plan for the day, I kind of planned out like things to do every day to keep me occupied, but it definitely doesn't have to be like that. We already started with sewing and we're gonna keep up the sewing because I actually have a little alteration I need to make for the outfit I'm planning on wearing to a wedding this weekend. This is a 2-piece set. It's like a matching maxi midi skirt and top. top, and I think they're so pretty. Obviously you can rewear formal stuff to weddings, but personally I just don't dress formal very often, so I like the idea of getting like a two-piece because I could wear this top separately or this skirt a lot more than if it was like a really fancy dress. This skirt is just, it's fine as a low-waisted skirt, but I like my skirts to be more like high-waisted, so I'm just going to, I'm not gonna cut it or anything. I think I'm just gonna sew the sides equally on both sides to be a little bit more cinched. And then the top here is really low, and I don't want this to be like falling down all night. So my plan for this is to probably like take the sleeve, roll it, and then sew like across the top. All my sewing and alterations are very amateur. I just do what works for me. That's the plan. I need to get some pins so I can figure out where I need to pin everything. I'm looking at this top now, and I think I'm gonna have to cut it, even though I really don't want to. But if I don't cut it, it's gonna be like this much fold of lace, which I think it would just look kind of bad. I'm gonna do the top second though, because honestly this skirt alteration is pretty simple. So I'm just gonna start with cinching these sides, and that should take like a couple minutes. I don't know if I've ever done this, like sewn and chatted before. Usually it's always like a crochet and chat or a knit and chat, but I think I do sewing more for like necessity. Not that fun for me. I think about this a lot. I think sewing would be a lot more fun for me if I had a sewing room or setup, but since I don't, sewing for me is kind of like a big hassle, and I don't like that about it because I think sewing's awesome. But anyways, that's just how things are right now. Actually, that's how things have always been with me for sewing. It's always felt like I'm a stress sewer. Ow! Oh my gosh, I poked myself really bad. That was very representative of what sewing is like for me. A little lunch break, but I did finish the skirt. This is what the sides are looking like. You can't really tell because they're black. I basically just folded it over and then sewed it here on both sides so that it would be even. A little bit of a cinch now on the side. If you can see that little like pleat. That I think will hold up just fine. But now is the scarier one, which is this top. And I think we're just gonna have to go for it. Like I think I'm just gonna cut it, and I honestly, like I pinned it and I have to shorten the straps a lot. We have our top with much shorter straps now, and I showed you I think one side, but this is what it's looking like. They clearly have, you know, this thick lacy part, but no matter what, it was gonna have that. But let's try on both of our pieces to see if our alterations were successful or not. The other perk of this alteration is now I have these two little like really cutesy lace squares, and I actually kind of want to put it like somehow on my new journal. I see people do really cute things with lace on these, but like I don't really know what I would do yet. I'm so happy with this. Both things I feel like turn out pretty dang good, and definitely are staying in place a lot better than they were before. This is also feeling a lot more sturdy than I thought it was going to, and definitely holding this up. Like I'm not worried about any slippage anymore. It just has this really nice drop back. I'm feeling very accomplished that I was able to execute that, and that don't have to worry about my wedding attire anymore. It's so pretty. Hello guys, it is the end of day 2 of no phone, and honestly, I feel like it's been not as difficult to cut it out as I thought it was going to be. Maybe just because I've been keeping busy with like crafts and other things. I think I'm gonna do the same thing as last night and read a little bit before bed. I think that actually works out a lot better for me because I just knock out. I'm gonna read a little bit and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I ended up staying way later than I meant to, but I always have goals of things I want to get done, and then like it never lines up with how long it actually takes me to get anything done. I guess that's true with everything in life, not just pottery, but I would say it was good and bad. There were some things during the session that like made me want to crash out. For example, I was trimming and I was like trying to speed trim, and we're not even on the trimming class yet. I was just trying to recall what I remembered from last class. Clearly I wasn't like doing it great. I over trimmed my first mug. It was the first mug I made too from the entire class, and it was one I liked, and I over trimmed it and it poked a hole in it, and so I had to scrap the whole thing. So I had to do a lot of wedging today. So that bowl I told you guys about from Monday that I didn't really like, I was like, yeah, I really don't like this. So I also am repurposing that clay, which takes a lot of time. But on the bright side, I was able to trim 2 cups semi-successfully. One is extremely lopsided, which I'll just say it's like quirky, it's eclectic, it's fine. I think it's functional though. I think it's kind of cute. And the other one I'm actually pretty proud of. They're just both a little heavier than any mug should be, and they look normal size right now. So I think when they're fired, they're gonna be kind of small. So I don't know what I'm gonna use these tiny little mugs for, but I'm pretty happy with how those 2 turned out. Other than that, during class today, we were just learning about coning, which I'm not very good at, and then we learned about wedging, which is fine. But that's my update. I need to get on home. I'm just checking in because I'm about to go to sleep. It's far later than I would have hoped to be sleeping, but I actually have been editing a bunch tonight just because I'm trying to make up from staying at pottery for 5 hours today. It's like I don't know where the time has been going. I actually checked my screen time. I was pleasantly surprised to see that my screen time for this week was like 2 hours, which is really crazy for me. I don't even know what the 2 hours would be because I'm like not really on it, but it's late now, so I'm gonna go to sleep, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello guys, happy Thursday. I'm just eating a little lunch before I go to a cafe with my friend. Alex and I made little mini banh mi's for dinner last night. It's like the perfect lunch size for me. Very, very good. I have a really fun craft that I want to do tonight. That's my motivation to grind on my editing. I'll see you guys at the cafe. Hopefully it's a good one. actually was able to finish my video. No, that's not a fan going on in the background. That's my computer trying to upload the video that is like 1,000,000 gigabytes, but we finished it, which means I get to do my little craft, which I'm really excited about. Did want to pick up an extra supply to make my life easier, but I didn't have time to pick it up. So we're gonna improvise. You can use paper, but this is like a grocery bag because I don't have loose paper. And then this is just a little square of cardboard. I got a little leather journal and I've been loving it. I've been using it for, I guess, like a couple different things. I have like 5 journals in here. I have a brain dump journal, what is this? Like a social media planning journal, crafting journal. This one is prayer notes. And then this one's like scrapbooking for like stickers and stuff. But I did originally want to decorate this a lot more. Right now I just have a couple charms. I have these crochet ones that I made, this button one I made, and this is just like a little leaf from my favorite bead store in Seattle, I think. But I'm trying not to go crazy on the decorations. But I also wanted to decorate some of the journal covers, so we're gonna try to do that today. I've been seeing it on a lot of the actual like leather covers, but I'm gonna be doing some cross stitch on my paper cover today, and I'm gonna be trying out this method that I saw online. So I'll link the video. And for this one, I think I'm just going to do a little practice, right? I'm just gonna do an M for my name. Eventually I would love to be able to make like a pretty flower design or something a little bit nicer. So what I'm gonna be using for this is some thread. You could also use like embroidery thread or like lace weight yarn, but I'm gonna make this one like really small, I think, versus I do want to eventually try doing a design that takes up like the entire cover. But this one, I think I'm just gonna do in the corner and very small. So thread will be fine. Go with the thread. Of course, we're gonna need some needles. Then you're gonna need either, I think I'm gonna use, maybe I shouldn't use this. Maybe I should use a pen. You're gonna need something pointy to poke holes into your cover. And then the cardboard is to go behind the cover so that you can poke the holes. I'm going to make a little grid on here so that I can draw out my design kind of as my stencil. If I had grid paper or dotted paper, I would not have to do this. But the nice thing about hand doing it is that I can make it as small as I want it to be. So I think that'll actually be helpful for this design since it's gonna be really tiny because I'm using the thread. This is so grainy, but I just screenshotted this M, found a cursive M that I liked on Pinterest, and I counted the squares. So I'm gonna need a 19 by 14 grid. So we're gonna draw that out first. I just made my tiny little grid, which means my entire design should be this small, which is a size I'm pretty happy with. The next step is X out the boxes so that I have the M design on here. This down a little bit just so that it would be easier to work with. But now what I'm gonna do is tape it down where I want the design to be on my journal, and then I'm gonna place this cardboard right behind it. Since I'm using thread, it's gonna be really thin anyway, so I think I'm just gonna use this pin, and I'm basically gonna poke a hole around all of the corners that I'm gonna have the cross stitching. I finished poking all of my holes. I did try to do it with the bigger, I don't even know what tool this is, but some sewing tool. I tried to do it with this because it was actually like really painful and indenting my fingers using the little like push pins, but it made the hole far too big. If you can see this one. Yeah, so that was a mistake. I think it'll be fine, honestly. Whoa. So I'm just taking my little stencil off, but I'm still gonna use this kind of as a reference. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to leave a relatively long tail just so that I can tape that down on the back for some added security. Now, all we're gonna do is a little bit of cross stitch action by just following all of the holes that we already poked. So it should be pretty simple. 5 first stitches. off my cross-stitch journal late last night, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. This is the reveal. It adds so much. One thing you can do is you can add like some tape or like laminate the back if you're worried about this, but I think I might just leave it. You could also put a slip or like a cover over this if you're worried about your front design, but since mine is going to be inside here, I think it'll be okay. Let's put it back in our journal. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. I love it. But I have 3 of these like cardboard cover ones that are totally plain, which are the perfect canvas to decorate. But that is my little journal update. I think I'm actually gonna end off this video here. Thank you so much for spending the week with me. It's been a full week of not being on social media. My 5-day update, my 5-day recap for you is that as a creator, I'm feeling kind of behind because I'm like not up to date with what everyone else has been posting and doing this week, but it's also kind of nice. Like I truly believe we were never really meant to know what everybody else is up to and that much detail about everyone's life all the time. And I think I was definitely getting sucked into that, like being up to date on everything. And it was still definitely a struggle. Like even the just natural reflex of going on my phone and clicking on like Instagram is such a natural reflex for me. So I feel like it really put into perspective how many times I would like go to do that on my phone and be like, wait, I'm not doing that this week. Long term, I think doing this for like a week refresh every once in a while is really nice, or even like a weekend refresh. So I think I might start doing something like that. But I am really liking the like no social media after a certain time in the day. I think I might try to stick to that more. I'm trying to slowly make little switches and be intentional and aware about where social media and the internet and my dang phone is consuming my life, and taking a step back helps you to really like process and understand that. So I do want to make small like long-term changes for my lifestyle. If you guys have any thoughts or input, I would of course love to hear it below. And if you want to see more about this and where my mind's at regarding this topic, be sure to let me know in the comments also. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.